Well, hello there, and it's Mama Jane's husband here, and it's also, I'm joined by,
Mama Jane.
and we are now arrived in Norway, and we're in Alta today. That's spelled A-L-T-A, and well inside the Arctic Circle, and it's known for its views of the Northern Lights. Not in August, though, I add. It's unlikely we'll see the Northern Lights in August.
You never know.
We might do.
You never know.
And we have downloaded an app, or as
No.
we should say,
He
Mama Jane's husband has
has
downloaded
downloaded
an
an
app
app.
that tells us there's a strong chance that we'll see them tonight. So I live in hope and prayer that will happen. Yes.
Yeah.
So we arrived today, and this has been, I think, Mama Jane's favourite day. Why has it been your Mama Jane?
No more of that. I'm keeping you in suspense.
Right. Well, we got off the boat, the ship early on a shore excursion, and we went to see some stone carvings, some of which are about 10,000 years old, and they're part of a UNESCO World Heritage Site here in Alta as part of the museum. And it's not that far, and we had about a half an hour drive, did we, to it? And then you get to the museum, and you get given a sticker, and then your tour guide came along to give us a little tour, and I thought she was quite good.
She was very good. Her English was excellent, and she took us. Now, if you're not good on your feet, it is a long walk. Well, she said 500 meters to the first real stone thingy.
And undulating 500 meters.
Yeah. But I think we didn't get a chance to go into the museum bit. We only had an hour. Now, I think what you'll find is in the museum is exactly what you saw outside. I think, but that it's like pictures of it and reconstructed stuff. Yeah. So I can't imagine what else it could be. So there's a very nice museum. There's a nice gift shop. There's a very lovely coffee shop. And so we didn't have time for any of that because we just had 1 hour, and it took 1 hour to like walk around. And she was so good, wasn't she?
And she says this is what happens when one of the archaeologists ends up being your tour guide. So we were there before 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
So we ended up with one of the archaeologists at the site doing the tour.
Yeah.
And she was very informative.
Very good.
She was very good.
Yeah.
And we learned things like that none of the drawings were done in red, but in the 70s, the archaeologists at the time thought it would be a good thing to paint the stone carvings red.
And actually, I think it was a good thing.
And it means that you can see them.
Yeah.
She described it as an act of vandalism, but there you are. And they found some since, and they haven't been painted red. And they're very difficult to see.
Very difficult, unless you know what you're looking for.
Yeah.
You could just look and not see anything. Yeah. But it may be vandalism, and she did say it's just ordinary red house paint, and they are trying to get rid of it. But actually, I think they should leave it because she could then point out all these different pictures. You know, the pictures of men and women and boats and reindeer and big fish, whales.
The bloody big fish.
Big fish, it's a whale.
And how do you know? How she said how you could tell between male and female. Yes. And how was that, Mama Jane?
Well, it's a bit rude, really. But the men are all depicted with 3 legs, and the women have only 2. I'll leave you to decide why the men have 3.
And she was describing all the different birds, and they were roughly the same birds as we had now, apart from one that was gone extinct, sadly. It was hunted out of existence about 150 years ago, which is a bit sad, really.
A bit sad.
Yeah. But you could see boats and all sorts. I was quite impressed.
Really good. Yeah.
Our ancestors again. It's been a theme on this cruise.
It has. Yeah.
But from there, we had a short drive towards what Mama Jane's favourite place on the whole tour. And what was that, Mama Jane?
A Husky I don't like to use the word farm because it doesn't, it's not what it is, but it's a place where Huskies are bred for racing, for various things, and it was just amazing, and they were obviously very well cared for. Well, of course they were. It's big business, you know, to keep these Huskies in good condition. Never mind, it's the right thing to do. And so we had a chance to wander around all the Huskies. Now, Mama Jane's husband, as you who know him and love him well will know, is not a dog fan. Well, no,
Not a dog lover.
He wasn't a dog fan until this morning. And he'll put some pictures to show you. But they were just so lovely. And they're not the big white fluffy things, fluffy white and grey ones
Siberians.
that you see. They're not them. They're the, what are they?
They're crossbreeds. So these Huskies are bred specifically for Norway and for the sledge pulling, and for different types of sledge pulling as well. And so there's a bit of German Shepherd in them.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that not right? Yeah.
Well, he
There's a
just
bit of
said shepherd, but I think he
Yeah.
means German shepherd.
Yeah, a bit of sheepdog in them.
No, pointer.
Pointer, that's right, yeah.
Tell you, it's not a dog.
I'm not
dog
into
fan.
dogs. I'm not into dogs.
No. So the cross of 3 breeds. So lots of them have got one brown eye and one blue eye. They're just lovely, and they were so friendly and so.
They were friendly, I have to say. Even I'm not a dog fan, and they even warmed to Mama Jane and Mama Jane's husband. I mean, they warmed to me, and in fact, there's some embarrassing selfies of me with these dogs.
And then we went into this huge, what did he
Teepee?
call it? He went to he didn't call it a teepee.
Looked like a teepee.
Yeah, I can't remember the name he gave it, but this big white.
Smells like a teepee.
This big white tent
a bit
thing.
like a duck, isn't it?
And in the middle was like a big open fire, and then there were all benches around with furs on. Now you see, that's the other thing, isn't it? In England, we've got this big thing about fur, whereas in Norway, you know, fur is, you need fur because it's warm, and so you eat the meat and use the fur. So you've got to get your head around that a bit, that there were lots of furs hung up.
I never give it a second thought.
Did you not? Oh no, I came out thinking, some people will not be happy about that. I don't mind. I don't mind, as long as we're eating and using the whole animal. But that, do bear that in
We
mind.
even had some husky puppies to play with.
We had husky puppies to play with,
And a cup of tea and
or coffee and a cookie.
And a cookie.
Yeah, and the man sat with us then and told us all about how they trained, how they chosen, how they. It was just so interesting, as well as absolutely
It was good.
delightful. Yes.
It was, yeah, so
Highly
there's some
recommend.
nice photos of Mama Jane and me with the Huskies. And then we spent a lot of time with the Huskies, so much time that the tour ran out of time. So they should have been taking us to the Cathedral of Light, but instead they dropped us off.
Only
so
if you
we
want
could,
to drop it now.
So we could go and look at the Cathedral of Light here on our own.
Yeah, and then
Which we did.
and then get the shuttle back.
Yeah.
There
There is a regular shuttle,
Yeah.
a very regular shuttle
Yeah.
from the ship to the middle of Alta, and they dropped us off where the shuttle was, so we knew where the shuttle was to get back, and then we walked to the Cathedral of Light, didn't we?
Which is not far. It's
No,
not far at all.
you can see it.
You can see it. You know, it's just round the corner, and there's also a very big, what would we call it? A mall. Shopping mall.
Area.
So you know, if you're having withdrawals from big shopping centres, it's a good place to go.
Now the Cathedral of Light was built when they decided Alta was going to be the administrative centre of this part of Norway, and they created essentially a town centre, and it's an industrial estate, and it's designed like an industrial estate, but it's got a cathedral at the centre of it, and then these industrial units have all got shops in them. So you're looking for the shops and you don't realise where they are, and the cafes, because they're all inside the industrial units. The cathedral itself is designed to look like, apparently, the Northern Lights. And I do understand
I can see
how
I
it's
can see.
designed that way.
Yeah.
And inside and out it's designed like that.
Yeah.
And we really liked it.
It was
didn't
lovely.
It was a very
Absolutely
holy
lovely.
place.
Yes, it was.
A place
Very
of real
simple.
deep spirituality.
Very simple.
And we liked it a lot.
You also had the choice in this cathedral, which we didn't do, was to buy an extra ticket and go into the
Borealis Museum.
Well, yeah, that sums up what it is really,
Yeah.
a museum of Northern Lights.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that was like. I cannot make any comment. So if you fancy in doing that, you'll have to check that one out yourself. There is a fee to go in the cathedral. How much was it?
It were 50 kroner each.
Which is?
I have no idea, but so it cost us 100 kroner, which worked out as a total of £8.60.
Yeah,
so £4.30
yeah,
each.
less than a fiver each. And various cathedrals in England actually now charge. Yeah, so
for the upkeep.
Yeah, so it's not that
and
unusual.
It was the same price again to go into the Borealis Museum.
Yeah.
But we decided against that.
Yeah.
Because we'd been and seen a film about the Borealis lights at the North Cape yesterday.
Yes.
So we didn't think it was worth doing it again. So then we went on the hunt for a coffee shop, and we found a nice little coffee shop. And then we went on the hunt for lipstick for Mama Jane, which we found.
Don't ask.
Don't ask. And a few other things that we needed. And we found this very nice shopping centre, or mall, whatever you want to call it. And it had a big food hall, didn't it?
Yeah. I think that
just remember that sometimes, Norwegian prices are higher than English prices.
But not always.
Not always.
Not always.
Okay.
No.
So all in all, Alta has
Very
been
nice.
very nice. Not a huge amount to do there.
No.
And
No.
it's but it's a nice place, and we are hoping to see the Northern Lights tonight, and we will report back if we do. For now, it's a goodbye from
Me?
and it's a goodbye
From Mama Jane's husband. Bye.
goodbye.